Well, I've just been making friends with horses and foals. Didn't have the camera out, but I've also been documenting some footpaths. So is that going to be my life's work? I thought I'd already done enough, but looks like there's more to do. Yeah, made friends with two more. Aren't you lovely? Sad about the barbed wire on the top there. Don't you try and eat that. Don't you try and eat that. Anyway, I'll tell you more right now. Well, here we are, we're coming down a footpath now, another one. Now, please note footpaths in the UK, footpaths and rights of way. I'm going to have to be doing a video about that if I haven't already done it, because that one is more urgent than this, and it's partly why I've come here, is because I'm keeping a record of the footpaths in my area. I've only got, what, 4 years to do it, and then report them, register them, and then they're going to stay, because if they're unregistered they're going to be lost in 2026. Anyway, I'll do a bigger video about that, but just so as you know. Here's something I recognise always. This is a hornbeam. You can see the seeds dangling down. Some of them are still green. Look. Let's see if I can get a close up. Well, just in case, that's where the corner of the wood comes out, or where the footpath comes out on that corner. And then where this turning is, there's then another one here that goes across there that I'm not going to join. It's just before a house, so where that goes I don't know, but maybe I'll investigate. Oh, that goes round the top of the wood, doesn't it? Which I am going to do one day. And a wayfaring tree there. Those red berries will turn black. Now, as most people know, Britain isn't like many other countries. Well, I know you could say that about lots of countries. But here, for some reason, it's seen as a place with lots of history. Maybe because of the amount of time it's been invaded and changed because of these invaders. And one of the things I want to talk about, and some of it goes back centuries, are footpaths, ancient tracks and rights of way. And here's an example of why they are so amazing. Now, these are ways for people to get through across the countryside. There are all kinds of ways. There are footpaths, which are basically footpaths for people walking or running, people on foot, literally. There are cycleways for people on bicycles, and also people on foot if they want to. And but cycleways are just for cyclists and they're not for horses. Then you have bridleways, which are for horses. I'm not sure about cyclists. I suspect that's possible. And people walking on foot. Basically, if you walk on foot, you can go on any of these trackways. Then there are ancient roads and ancient tracks. Which some places, you can go on foot, but other forms of transport are restricted sometimes. Then you have byways, which are for vehicles, off-road vehicles, and also for every other traffic. So the bigger the thing is, everything under it can go along, yeah. Obviously, apart from the cycleways and horses. I don't think horses can go on a cycleway, but I don't see why not myself. But I don't know about that. Now there are other rights of way that, because they've been a path that's been used for a certain amount of time, they're now used and can be used by the public. Now we're on a very old path here. Look at the scenes. See, this is the kind of thing that you find by an old path. You find trees like that. Well, before I was rudely interrupted, I was saying that recently the government have just said, they've just announced that by 2026, so the end of 2025, if a footpath or right of way or ancient track hasn't been registered by then the public will lose the right of access to walk on it. Yeah. So, not only have I got enough to do, seeing as I haven't got a pension or anything like that, I'm now going to have to document every footpath around me. Luckily I'm filming them, but that gives me a mission, but it gives me less freedom and also a time restriction, and you've then got to register them. I don't know how I know where to go to do that. It's the Ramblers Association. Go on there. I will find out more and I will let you know in due course. Because we've got very little that we can walk across anyway or use. And I noticed there was a time when, I don't know if the law still applies, or if a footpath isn't used for a certain amount of time, then it can be closed. So landowners don't help because they let things grow across the entrance and stuff. That's why people like the Conservation Agency and the BTCV, the British Trust for Conservation Volunteers, they go and they open them up and they walk them. It only needs to be walked once. You know, if it's like hasn't been walked in 2 years, all you got to do is walk it the once. So I'm basically walking every footpath I know around here and filming them, which is I'm not going to make that into a video, so I will do videos along it as I'm doing it. Well, let me show you some of the sights that you can see around here when you walk an ancient track. Look at that. And the sound of the water. So everyone who's in England, Britain, and who walks in the countryside, please do all your paths near you, walk as many as you can, get photographs and register them, because we can't afford to lose them. The sinister overtones of this are a bit too much for me, really, what with everything else that's gone on. I'm sure what's happened is we had lockdown, the government said get outside, 1 walk a day. So people started going outside and started going places where they shouldn't. I say shouldn't in inverted commas, because the whole land is ours. It's only owned by somebody, because if you take it back, it's only owned by them because they stole it and took it and said this is going to be ours. That's what happened. So it's got to be done. It's an urgent thing. It's got to be done, because, for example, let's take the Fossway, which I talk about a lot because I know it a lot. There's bits of that you can't drive on, but you can walk on them. But if that's not registered, that will stop, and that has been used for thousands and thousands of years. This is what we're dealing with. Well, this hasn't been used for some time by the looks of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it and make it accessible. It is a footpath. There we go. You can get through there all right. That's an obvious gap now. Just doing my bit. So thanks for watching, and sorry it's so urgent and heavy and oppressive. And I'll see you next time. Ta-da.